Serikali inawashauri wananchi wote ambao tarehe 9 Disemba 2025 hawatakuwa na dharura kuitumia siku hiyo kwa mapumziko, hivyo kusherehekea siku hiyo wakiwa nyumbani.
Tanzania has just crossed a line that East Africa hoped never to witness again. On the eve of Dec 9th 2025 protests, videos swept across WhatsApp and X showing full military convoys, not police, rolling into Dar es Salaam, Arusha, Mwanza, Mbeya, Tanga and Dodoma. Uniforms in battle dress, roadblocks spaced like fear markers every 500 meters. And phones across the country lit up with a government SMS that said it all without saying anything. Report anyone planning chaos tomorrow. Uhuru Day Eve in Tanzania. No celebrations, no parades, no dancing. Instead, an entire country converted into a controlled zone before sunrise. And the question echoing across East Africa, is Tanzania preventing chaos or preparing for something far darker?
Yako maandamano mengine yanayoandaliwa, yanayoendelea kuratibiwa kufanyika katika kipindi hiki cha mwezi wa 12 tarehe 9 mwezi wa 12 mwaka huu. Taarifa hizo Jeshi la Polisi mkoa wa Mwanza tukishirikiana na vyombo vingine vya ulinzi na usalama tumezichukulia kwa uzito mkubwa sana.
The first sign wasn't the soldiers, it was the internet suddenly crawling, slowing to what activists call, quote, pre-shutdown speed. Then came the reports, opposition figures unreachable, homes surrounded, activists abducted, neighborhoods sealed off, official line, routine precaution, street interpretation, state power tightening its fist before dawn. Residents filmed soldiers, not riot police, setting up positions normally used during anti-terror operations. Motorists were ordered out of vehicles, bags opened, cameras discouraged. One witness in Temeke whispered on a shaky voice saying, "Hii ni kama inchi imepeanwa kwa jeshi." Another joked darkly, "Kenya thought it invented lockdown politics." Tanzania said, "Hold my tea." The government's explanation was unusually blunt. The money, they said, had been redirected to rebuild what protesters will burn. That line alone sent Tanzanians and Kenyans into the same conclusion. The state wasn't responding to protests, it was predicting them. Because for weeks, Chadema has insisted that December 9th will be a peaceful march protesting what they call an illegitimate October election. Government position, the protests are illegal and foreign funded. Opposition position, the state is criminalizing dissent to avoid accountability.
Ahead of protests planned for Independence Day in Tanzania on the 9th of December, we remind the authorities of their obligation to ensure the right to freedom of expression, association, and peaceful assembly. We urge the government to instruct the security forces to plan and implement their operations in a manner that allows Tanzanians to fully exercise their fundamental rights. We remind the security forces that they must refrain from using force to disperse nonviolent assemblies and make every effort to de-escalate tensions.
The opposition says 97.8% victory for President Samia was mathematically impossible, politically absurd, and morally dishonest. They claim hundreds were killed or disappeared in the weeks after October 28th, though none of those numbers are confirmed publicly by the government. Tundu Lissu is effectively under house arrest, movement restricted. Freeman Mbowe's phone is off, his team unreachable. Influencers and activists report officers camping outside their gates for observation. In their words, quote, "If we must march, we march. If the army blocks us, the world will witness it." The United States barred its staff from traveling anywhere in Tanzania on December 9th. Kenya's High Commission quietly advised citizens to prepare food and water for 2 weeks. Israel told its nationals to avoid the country entirely. Diplomats read these moves as signals that foreign agencies fear a confrontation the government may not be able to control once it begins. In an address earlier, President Samia accused unnamed foreign hands, and specifically Kenyan networks, of funding Dec 9's planned protests. No evidence was presented publicly, but the political meaning was loud. If unrest happens on Uhuru Day, Tanzania wants the world to see external sabotage, not internal dissatisfaction. For many Kenyans, it triggered memories of 2023, when the state responded to maandamano with force, tear gas, blackout zones, and surging GSU deployments. Except Tanzanians say this feels like that playbook multiplied by 10 minus the cameras. Embassy messages show a pattern. 1. Avoid public spaces. 2. Expect shutdowns. 3. Stay indoors. 4. Stock essentials. The warnings hint at 2 possibilities. 1. Authorities expect confrontation. And 2. Something bigger is planned for the morning. Is it a coup?
Maandamano ambayo ni makubwa kuliko yale ambayo watu walichoma mali za watu, walichoma vituo vya mafuta, walichoma majengo ya serikali, wamechoma vituo vya polisi, yale yaliyosababisha watu wakafa. Sasa hayo tunayoambiwa ni makubwa zaidi ya hayo. Sasa hayo sio maandamano. Kwanza kwa sababu hayana kibali kwa mujibu wa sheria, lakini pili, hayaeleweki yanafanywa na wakina nani ili tujue hata tuzungumze nao, lakini tatu, yanaambiwa hayana mwisho. Sasa hayo sio maandamano, hayo ni mapinduzi.
If the opposition marches as promised and the state unleashes military as positioned, Tanzania may wake up to one of 3 realities: a population breaking a wall of fear, a military lockdown solidifying a new political order, and a complete information blackout, leaving East Africa guessing. And that's why many believe the internet may be fully cut by 6 in the morning. When the lights go out, and they likely will, what happened will matter more than ever, because history always records the silence before the storm, even when governments hope it doesn't. Tanzania stands at a crossroads. One path leads to a mass movement demanding accountability, the other to a state locking itself into military governance on its own Independence Day. Either way, East Africa will not remain the same by Dec 9th in the evening. Save the video, because history has a way of looking obvious in hindsight, yet hard to recognize when you're living it minute by 10th minute. What do you think? Will Tanzania come out of this? Drop your comments. Newsroom, Maisha TV, Ushabi Jr.